What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to be going over trading psychology, how to turn it all around, how to correlate it in your journey, and how to ultimately become a profitable trader. Starting with how easy it is to be a profitable trader. It is so incredibly easy. The two components you need to be a profitable trader is your risk to reward ratio and your win rate. Your risk to reward ratio has to either be anything above 1 to 1.1 and above, and your win rate only has to be a 51% win rate. If you have those two components locked in and good, then you should be a profitable trader. And see, that sounds so easy. That's it. Like 51% win rate. Are you kidding me? With a 1-to-1 RR, like that is cake. But see, you're not profitable, and you're not profitable because something's going wrong, because your trading psychology is fucked up and you are not following your rules, you're giving in, you're over trading, whatever it may be. When we have the ability to have the comfort of our home, with the click of our finger, we can make thousands of dollars. A lot of people do not know what to do with that information, and it is overwhelming to them. You have to know how to keep your emotions in check, and if you can't keep your emotions in check, if you can't fucking man up, then you won't pass. You won't ever be able to make it in this trading thing. If you're focused on making money, if you're focused on posting your P&L, if you're focused on the green box at the top of your screen that has a green color to it, I'm telling you, you're gonna fucking lose. You have to be in this shit for the long term, and you have to act like it too. You cannot be sitting here over trading, telling yourself that you're gonna do this forever, because you know what's more important than a green P&L is your habits. Every day, when I turn my psychology around and I turn all my bad habits, I turned it all around by just simply starting to sit at my desk and focus on building good habits rather than seeing that green P&L. If I took a good trade and I lost and I just took one trade and got off, I was happy with myself, because you know what I did? I didn't over trade, didn't over leverage, I didn't revenge trade, whatever it is, I didn't do it. I took one trade, I executed what I thought my edge was. I might have lost, but I got off right after that. See, being more focused on that skill, being complacent, is better than a $500 winning day, because that $500 winning day, eventually all those profits are just going to get taken back by the market because you have such bad habits. So when you focus on building good habits, that money is not going to flow back into the market because you're not losing it, because you have good habits. You built those good habits to keep that money. Remember, trading, 100% of trading is capital preservation. You should never be trading if your strategy is not in the market. If you do not see your edge, you should not be in the market. It's as simple as that. You tie that in with the RR in the win rate, you'll be a profitable trader. It is literally that easy to be a profitable trader. You just have to get your head in check. Way back when I was an unprofitable trader, I couldn't take a fucking L for my life. So you know what I did? I started every time I took a trade on my account. So I'm on Top Step. Every time I took a trade on my Top Step account, after that one trade was placed, my account would lock out. You can go into your settings and trade and like set it up so you can have like a one trade a day type of thing. And that's all you need. You don't need to be taking more than one trade a day. Rarely you can get 2, sometimes 3 trades in a day, but realistically you should be focusing on one trade a day. In my specific strategy, it only pops up one time a day, whether it's there or not. I either take one trade and I'm off for the day, or I take no trades and I'm off for the day. But back then, I would set myself to one trade a day, and whether I lost or won, it forced me to just learn how to deal with it. You guys need to think about how you can strategize and how you can implement things to help you get rid of your bad habits. I can't speak for everyone's specific situation, but if it's over leveraging, we'll start there. Over leveraging, bro, grab a low account, small account. Stop trying to get those 150Ks, 100Ks, sometimes even 50Ks. If 50Ks is too much, maybe you need to start with the smaller contracts. You need to be trading at MNQ, because if you're trading MNQ, it's not about the money at that point. I heavily recommend people do that. They trade MNQ, they focus on building good habits, taking good trades, because you're making shit money anyway. But in that process, you're not focused on the money. You're focused on building who you are as a trader. If you're focused on revenge, or if your issue is revenge trading, this is a hard one. I used to struggle with this one too. You need to just become complacent. What I did when I struggled with revenge trading was I went to ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT to write me out a whole month, year, 5-year scenario of me using X amount of contracts with an X percent win rate. And obviously, you see over time, you make a lot of money, like a lot of money. If you just stick to the same win rate, stick to the same amount of contracts, like it is crazy how much you can make in trading if you just stay consistent and stay disciplined. And when ChatGPT gave me those results, like, dude, like it made me like start trusting the process. So I was able to take an L. All I had to do was refine my strategy and get really good at trading. And I only focused on my strategy. I never tried to bounce around. I never tried to go to fucking like volume analysis profiling. I never tried to go to mean reversion. I stuck with my ICT plus market structure and order flow strategies and only traded those. And you see, I stayed consistent and made a lot of money. If you're bouncing around strategies, just gonna let you know they all fucking work. Like I was talking about earlier, 50% win rate and above. I guarantee you all the strategies on YouTube win at least 50% of the time. Well, at least most of them. There's a lot of shit ones out there. But if you just stick to the same strategy and become a fucking genius on it, bro, I'm telling you, with good discipline, you're gonna ball. And it is that fucking easy. And that's what's crazy about it, is that you don't even need some like crazy, awesome 90% win rate strategy. If we look at casinos, for example, I'm trying to think of a game like blackjack. I don't know the win percentage of a blackjack game. I think it's like the casino wins like 51% of the time. I'm probably wrong, but let's just say the blackjack casinos win 51% of their games. Notice how they're not out of business and they're still fucking popping and they make a lot of money, is because that 1% edge, that 1% edge makes them that money all over time. You can get lucky. Like I could go into a casino and I can get lucky and I could nail a crazy good profit, but you know what's going to overtake my profit compared to theirs is their 1%. They have that 1% edge in the market, or they have that 1% edge in the casino. So when I go into the market, I have what, a 20% edge on the market. I'm telling you, you have to trust the process. I think everyone should go into their ChatGPT, get your data. By the way, I'll get onto that. Get your data. Go and back test a year long of market data, and get your strategy. Test and study your strategy when there's SMT, maybe when there's an inverse fair value gap, whatever the case may be. Study different variations with different variables. Get the data, put it down in a notepad, send that straight to ChatGPT. Tell it to run it for a year long, 5 years long, 10 years long, and see what your profit potential could be. When you see what your reward is, when you just stay patient and disciplined, I'm telling you, it's going to help your mindset a little bit. You just have to lock in though. It's all up to you. Are you going to be able to sit on that fucking chart and not click buy or click sell when you have a setup there? Like your setup is there, but it doesn't align with the higher time frame structure or whatever all your rules consist of. If there's one rule missing, are you really going to be able to sit there and not take the trade? That's the discipline you need. And for that type of discipline, you need to change in the outside world. You cannot be having a nicotine. You cannot be having a sugar. You can't be having a weed. You can't be having all these addictions, right? And then go into the market and expect to be disciplined, because what you do in the outside world reflects right back on the charts. Okay. If you're feeding in, let's just go with that sugar example. Let's just say you just had a big meal, a big healthy meal, and you can't resist that sugar, like some sort of candy to top off your dinner or whatnot, whatever the fuck it is. You're not going to be able to have the discipline to stay on the charts and not take that one trade where that one rule is not in the market or in that strategy or in that scenario. So you really have to lock in outside of life. Go to the gym 5 days a week, stay consistent at it, work hard. Don't go there just to go there. But yeah, another big thing in trading psychology is, bro, focus on the journey. Like I'm telling you, now that I've become profitable, I've kind of just like realized like how much I miss struggling. I know that's like a crazy statement, because a lot of people, bro, like they're like on the verge of suicide during their unprofitable stages. But like, dude, if I could go back, I so would do it. I fell in love with the journey. That's why I think I came to profitability somewhat earlier than most people, because I fell in love with the journey and I fell in love with the process. And I didn't necessarily fall in love with the money, because I knew that the money, like the the money's not always going to be there. Like, you're going to get stripped of it sometimes. What you always do have, though, is your story. And that's what you can look back and reflect on. Like, when I go back and reflect on my story, you know, there's a lot of bonehead decisions I was making over trading, bad psychology, just like I talked about earlier. But I would so go back and fix it. And I love telling it to beginner traders because I love to hear about them avoiding them because they heard about my story. Anyways, guys, I got linked down below my Discord. It's completely free. Feel free to go and join there. I got a lot of psychology. I got a lot of technical analysis. Got a lot of trade recaps. Anything you can really think of, I got it for free on my Discord. So feel free to join. And thank you guys for watching.